just want to start in that final stretch there. What did you guys put together to make that run? How did things go? How did it play out?
Yeah, I mean, I got to look at the tape of the whole sequence, but we never believed we couldn't get back in the game. We have a lineup with Dennis, Alex, KCP, Bron, and AD that's been really lights out defensively, and we knew we'd have a chance, if we held down on the defensive end, to make some shots and get back in it. We were able to do that. Bron made a great pass to AD, to give us the lead, and Tobias Harris came down and hit a great shot against good defense. So, we didn't do enough throughout the course of the game to put ourselves in position to win, but it was a heck of a fight down the stretch.
There were a couple of playoff games last year, usually game one, where it seemed like you guys were just trying to get the feel for another team, and then you adjusted as the series went on. Did you see that playing out tonight, and just trying to figure out what was going on with Philly?
Yeah, we did, and sometimes, the best adjustments are just do what you're doing better, and that was really what we did throughout the game tonight. We didn't break from our coverage that we started the game. We just executed it better. It's one of those things as a coach you're always measuring, whether to make a big adjustment or just to do it better. And we definitely did a far better job in the final three quarters than we did in the first quarter, and we were able to give ourselves a chance.
Frank, obviously you guys are a pretty good shooting team this season, but when you come away from a win or a loss that's by 1 point and see that you missed 9 free throws, what goes through your mind and how do you address that?
They missed 9 or they missed 10, so it was really even from the line. Good free throw shooters are going to have nights where they miss free throws. Everybody concentrates on their work. They put in, they do their routine. They get ready for it. Can't really worry about it. You just got to focus on making them next game.
What's your next game?
Hey Frank, that lineup that you guys went on the run with Dennis and Alex and KCP around LeBron and AD, is that situational, or is that a lineup that you kind of foresee being sort of the pace in the hole, closing lineup, whatever you want to call it? And if so, what are sort of the strengths there?
Well, it's not a lock that I'll go to that every game. There's some strengths with that lineup in terms of defensive speed. Around AD and Bron as defensively as sort of the two bigs and what they can do. But Alex, KCP, and Dennis obviously elite perimeter speed and containment ability, and they got great space to drive and kick and play that game with AD at the 5. So there's some positives, but it's not something that it will be a lock that I go with that every night. I mean, AD and Bron will be in there. And we'll see how the rest of the guys are playing and what the matchups look like.
More, Dan?
Frank, how did you guys do?
Better as the game went along. I thought our fouling discipline in the second half was far better than the first half, and as a result, he didn't shoot as many free throws. So that's where it starts with him. But he's a unique player. And we didn't face him last year. He's got a lot of tricks and is shifty and is very difficult to defend without fouling. So, obviously, like I said, we didn't do a good enough job in the first half, but it got better as the game went along.
Last question, Jovan?
Hey Frank, as a follow-up to that, what did you think of your double teams against Joel and how effective that was in the rotation after?
Yeah, sort of the same answer. We were a step late for a couple of them early on, and we got split a couple times, gave up some threes, but for the most part in the second half, we were pretty sharp with it. I think we got rejected to the basket one time, but again, better as the game went along.